if you have your faith in Allah, you still have to execute. Like, it's not like you're just gonna, and again, there's that external locus of control. You have to take charge. So often people would be like, I hope you find Allah again. I'm like, and I responded because I got fed up. I was like, I hope the devil finds you.
I immediately knew you had to come on the podcast when I saw your TikTok about you talking about you being religiously agnostic. You're not putting up a front online. You're not doing shit for aesthetics and shits and giggles. This is who you are for real. Who you are online is who you are in person. I love connecting with other Guinean women and finding out that they're cool vibes because, you know, a lot of them are kind of weird. Yeah, some of them are weird out there. Guys, welcome back to On Our Terms, hosted by moi, Ismatou Ba. And as you know, this is not a safe space. It's a brave space.
Okay.
So let's be brave. Guys, we are welcoming our queen, our actress, our doctor in training, Aminatou. Well, actually not Aminatou. Aminatou.
And counting.
I don't think I've been this excited for an episode in a minute. Today we have Aminatou here. You've definitely seen her online. If you haven't, you're like living under a rock. I don't know where you are. I stumbled across her Instagram last year. And when I tell you, I was inspired. It literally made me be like, wow, this girl is so free. And as soon as I saw you, I was like, at some point I'm going to have her on the podcast. I just don't know how I'm going to meet her. But I cold pitched her over email a few months ago. And we've also just kind of built a great friendship out of this too, which is always great. I love connecting with other Guinean women and finding out that they're cool vibes because, you know, a lot of them are kind of weird. Yeah, some of them are weird out there.
A lot.
I don't like talking to them. So when I met you and I was like, oh, she's cool vibes.
Like literally normal. Like I feel like it's people who grew up outside of the community. Like people who are in the mix, they're with that mindset. And I don't really like that mindset, you know, that they be having, like that our parents be having.
No, seriously. Yeah. It's so funny, though, because when I found so for the people who don't know Aminatou because you're living under a rock, I'm going to tell you who she is. She is a model, actress, influencer.
I feel like that term is derogatory.
She is an icon already. Some would say icon in the making, but I think she's already there. She moves to the beat of her own drum. She does not need your moral frameworks. She has her own that she functions from. She stands tall, literally.
Oh, my posture's terrible. I'm like working. It's so bad.
Tall and true in what she believes in. And she is not afraid to share it online with you. Okay?
Yeah. There's so many people, like, I talk about my dad a lot. Sometimes I talk about my mom. People are like, I hope he never finds this video. Oh, baby, I already said this to his face dumb long ago. Like, this is new to y'all, not new to him. Like,
no, literally. That was like one of the meeting you in person, getting to know you, and building a real life relationship with you. What made me even more excited to have you on the podcast is that you're not putting up a front online. You're not doing shit for aesthetics and shits and giggles. This is who you are for real. Who you are online is who you are in person.
Yeah, people, oh my God, so many people. They're like, so is it a character that you're doing? I was like, character? Like, I don't know. I feel like that's a little bit offensive. Like, why is my personality so outrageous that it can't be like real? Like, what are you talking about? You're just boring. That's crazy. Character.
I tell people all the time, if you want to see what it's like to be a free West African woman, look up Aminatou.
Stop. Like the
I'm dead ass. And I think also what's great about you, too, is it's not just, like, she's obviously gorgeous. You're gorgeous. But you have a politic. you have range, you're discerning, you have a stance. You can explain and talk through why you believe in what you believe in, and you also have the range to take it there, and you're open to discourse, which I find that a lot of people in our community aren't
At all.
like they don't even kind of have the skills to take it there with you.
It's so frustrating because I'm an explainer. Like, I like to explain things to people. So I'm like, a lot of times, like, I'll be trying to be like, yo, you're dumb as hell, but like, you're dumb as hell, and I'm gonna explain it to you so you could stop. You could be a little bit less dumb, you know? And it's just like, you can only do so much for somebody in a comment section, especially when they are not open to it. Like,
Committed to misunderstanding you.
committed. And it's because they have been raised in a way to like not question anything, and everything that they have been taught is like the law, and it's unchanging, unmoving. And I'm like, that is a scary way to live. Like, I feel like I've been thinking about this recently. Like, a lot of these people have an external locus of control, and I cannot be around people with external locuses of control. Loci.
What does that mean for the people who don't read?
Okay. Locus of control is kind of your belief on how much you can control things within your life. So let's say you failed a class. Someone with an external locus of control will be like, oh, the test was made to be difficult. Somebody with an internal locus of control would be like, oh, I didn't study enough. So it's kind of like your outlook on how much your actions can affect other things. And I feel like I've been shifting like continuously over the course of my life to a more internal locus of control. But it's also like you have to stay mindful on what you can't control. And because you'll go crazy if you think that you can control everything. Like, that's just, so you have to
find the
realistic.
balance.
Yes, exactly. But a lot of people, I find, I don't mesh with those who keep it external. And I'm like, take control of your life. Hello? Like, you can't just sit there and take it. Like, I mean, if you want to, I guess, but do that away from me.
And don't complain to me. I don't want to hear it.
Oh, the complaining.
I don't want to hear it.
Complaining. Okay.
Keep it to yourself.
Won't do anything. I give you advice. You're not going to do anything about it. You just wasted my time. Oh, my God. People are like, oh, there are no stupid questions. Yes, there are. Around me, there are stupid questions.
No, period. I know I gave my definition or like my perception of how I perceived you online, but for the people who don't know, I want you to kind of tell them about yourself. Like, who is Aminatou for the people who don't know?
Who am I? Oh, my God. I don't know. I kind of like to describe myself as a Renaissance woman. I can't be boxed. So that's why I'm like I can't specify a niche. So like I'm like talks with different agencies, and they're like, oh, so what would your niche be? And I'm like, I don't really have one. Like I can just do everything. And I say this to everyone, like, I'm just good at everything. So I really am. Like, I have never undertaken something and not been above average. Like, maybe I'm not
Period.
the best, but if I feel like if I have my mind set to something, like, I'm gonna do it. So, okay, what do? I model, I act,
You were in a Benjamin Moore commercial.
Yes, I was. That was when I went to Barcelona. So I was living in Barcelona for a bit after I graduated, because I graduated a year early. I was like, hey, father, so I'm saving you a year's worth of tuition. You want to bankroll my language immersion trip? And he was like, yeah. I was like, oh, my God. No question. No, he just did it.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's very education focused. So if you say it's
most,
for
I feel
school,
most Guinean parents.
yeah, but he's like 10 toes out. Like,
but sometimes when it comes to like trips like that though, and women leaving their house, girls leaving their house, most parents are usually pretty hesitant though.
No, he didn't. He did not care.
He was like, "Get out of here."
Yeah, he was, which is so crazy to think, because like my last year in university, he didn't want me to move off campus. And it like came to a point where I was like, well, I have nowhere to live, so I'm not going to school. He was like, send me the bill for your tuition. I was like, how am I going to go to school if I don't have anywhere to live? He was like, fine. I was like, all right, bro. Like, sometimes he can just be a little bit irrational, but like, that's a long story.
Yeah. Well, why don't we start at the beginning? Where were you born? Where are you from?
Oh, okay. I was born in the Bronx. And then my dad moved us to Yonkers. I still jack the Bronx, even though I lived in Yonkers for like 20 years. But Yonkers just was not my vibe. So like I went to elementary and middle school there. And
Is Yonkers very diverse?
not where I lived.
Huge West African community?
Oh, absolutely not.
Oh,
Barely.
really?
I think I knew like 2 West Africans in my
It's
school.
more suburban?
Yeah, definitely.
Suburban.
But I will say it is it is more diverse towards the south. So I like lived in North Yonkers. And yeah, it was good, I will say. Like my dad, his whole reasoning for moving us there, because we were living in the Bronx. And before that
South Bronx?
yeah.
Okay.
He had been there for a while, like trying to build his life and blah, blah, blah. And he just did not like what he was seeing.
And you guys were probably more so around West African community, right?
Yeah, and like Black Americans, like Hispanic people. So he just didn't like what he was seeing because obviously like we can get into redlining and everything, but that's what was going on like to this day. He'll be like he spent more time in the Bronx than he has in Guinea at this point in his life. Yeah.
So did your dad come here really young?
He came here when he was like 20 something, 20.
In the 80s?
Yeah. I think so. I don't even know.
Interesting.
He's always like, I've been here for 30 something years.
So when I was doing my research on you, you graduated from college when you were 20.
Yes.
So that's really young age to graduate. And that's why I guess you were able to do the immersion program.
Yeah. I was ready to get out of there. I hated Binghamton. I just didn't really feel challenged. And the place was just so suffocating. I feel like people get into like a real small town mentality, which is also why I didn't like Yonkers. Like, I think it was giving
You're a city
the same
girl.
thing. Yes, I am. Like, I went to Brooklyn Tech.
Yeah.
So
Smart
that was
girl.
a trip. But
From Yonkers to Brooklyn?
oh my God, you don't even understand.
People don't know the inner city, like, kid struggle. Commuting 2 hours to go to school every day,
Literally.
and you come back.
I did sports all year. And we had like Saturday games, Sunday games.
That's commitment.
Yeah.
But in a way, that's commitment to your education, in a way. I mean, I remember when I was doing prep, I had to commute from Rosedale, Queens to the Upper East Side for 2 summers. And then Wednesdays and Saturdays, because I was basically going to 2 schools during 8th grade to prepare to go to boarding school.
Oh, how?
I feel like every high achieving kid at some point had to make some sacrifices when they were really young.
Absolutely.
Whether it was commuting to another borough every day for 2 hours, doing your homework. I used to be doing my homework on the train.
Me too. Oh my God, I said that in high school, and I was like, oh, yeah, I do my homework on the train. And people started calling me a nerd. I was like, this is a nerd school.
It's Brooklyn Tech.
Y'all calling me a nerd? What the heck? I'm maximizing my time. Y'all don't understand time management like I do.
Oh my God, I used to be
CEO
on the train
efficiency.
annotating in my books because we had annotation checks.
Really?
Yes.
I never had that.
My history teacher Mr. Malyukov, he would always be checking our annotations. And if you didn't have enough annotations, it's not looking good
That's
for you.
something that like it would not look good for me because like annotations, like I just want to read. I'm like, damn.
It's hard to multitask.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like my brain moves too fast for like me to be. But
I think another reason too, so people can understand why I brought you onto the podcast, is because I think you understand the cost of what it takes to be an honest person inside a lot of inside of a lot of structures, such as like whether it means like religion, and we'll touch on that today, whether it be the industry of influencing, or just like content creation in general, but also family and navigating family relationships. That usually, and these are all structures that reward compliance, especially from young Black girls. And I think you're a case study of like what happens when you refuse to perform a certain version of yourself to make everyone else comfortable. But I think what I really love about you is that you thrive because of that. Like I think in spite of all of what the world tells us of how we should act and how we should be and what our societies and culture rewards, you, like you said, performing above average. Like you really are performing above average.
I mean, that's the story of my life.
I immediately knew you had to come on the podcast when I saw your TikTok about you talking about you being religiously agnostic. I want to define for people, because there's a difference between atheism and being agnostic. Could you define for them what being agnostic is versus being atheist?
So being agnostic means that you recognize a higher power, whether that's God or something else, without being religious, adhering to a set of rules that has been lined up. So whether it's like one of the Abrahamic religions, like Buddhism, Maoism, like what else, Hinduism, like you still believe in a higher power, whereas atheism, you don't believe in a God at all. You're not like stuck to one of these I don't know, it's just very conforming or what's the word? I don't know. I don't want to say suffocating, because then it's like religion in a bad light, but yeah, it just really boxes you in. It's a big theme with me. I just don't want to be like boxed into something. So I think sometimes I teeter between agnosticism and atheism. Yeah.
Really? So would you claim being agnostic, or you're kind of just like, I don't really have a title for it right now. Like, I'm still figuring it out.
I think it's always going to be something that like is fluid for me, because like every day you learn something new, and like think. A lot of people don't think a lot anymore. So like I'm just always in my own head, like wondering this is that. And the people around me also think, and we have these conversations. So like it's ever changing, which I think is a good thing. It's a very good thing. Like you can't just be set in all of your ways. And so many people, they're like, oh, well, you believe in science, like blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, I believe in science, but everything in science is never like 100%. It could be like 9.99999, like going forever, but it's never 100%. So there's always that element.
I love that you're going into explaining it, because a lot of people came in your comments and were like, oh, may Allah save us. May Allah continue to guide us. Da 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 da. You know. Dude. And they kept putting their points up, and they were just like, Islam and science goes together. A lot of what we talk about scientifically, Allah has already written it out in the Quran. And she was eating these people in the comments. Like I was like, wow, this girl is she is something else. Like
it's ridiculous, and I feel like I'm such a contrarian. So I'm like, I'm talking about how religion is not for me, and y'all are still forcing it onto me. You're like, oh, Allah is gonna like bring you back to the right path. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, this is just making me move further away from it. And like, so often people would be like, I hope you find Allah again. I'm like, and I responded because I got fed up. I was like, I hope the devil finds you and leads you away from Islam. Like,
you're like, leave me alone.
No, literally. And like, I get people in my DMs trying to like talk about my life and like my situation. Like, I don't know. I got some DM and they were like talking about, oh, my father and like something, this is that.
Your father?
Yeah. And like trying to get me back to religion and be like, oh, this is that. What the hell are you doing?
Well, then that leads me to my next point. we come from a very conservative community. Everybody knows. I talk about it all the time. And, Fulanis, I think the way that we do Islam is very different from what's going on with everybody else. Just because I think the history of like how Fulanis, being the nomads that we were a huge part of how Islam spread across the West, across West Africa. And so in a way, I feel our community thinks of itself in this very high and mighty way of like kind of being the arbiters of Islam in a way. And I think we kind of always take it a little too far.
Always.
There's something very extremist about our culture. And I'm still trying to figure out my place in all of this and how I want to speak about it. But it's really taboo to come out and speak and tell people openly, even like your cousins who are the same age as you, oh yeah, I don't know if I really believe in this thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe. It is probably, I think, one of the biggest no-nos you learn very early on. I think that and don't have sex if you're a girl is one of the biggest no-nos you learn. And so you live with your parents.
Yeah, for now. I need to get the fuck out. Like, yeah, I was on the websites last night. Like, girl, I can't. I need to go.
How have you balanced being very open about being like, navigating your faith openly and sharing it with your community while also sustaining a relationship with your parents?
Well, I don't really have a relationship with my mom, so this is mostly going to be about my dad. Mm-hmm. But I have him blocked off my social media. But all the time he'll like come up to me and be like, Aminatou, are you praying? And I'm like at first I'd be like, yeah. And then it got to a point where he like just did not believe me. He's like, no, you're not. And so now I think he asked me about a week ago, and I was like, I can tell you something that will make you happy, or I could tell you the truth. And we just laughed about it. He's like, no, I mean, that's you have to pray like that, like blah, 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 blah. I was about to start speaking politics. But yeah, honestly, because he knows he can't get into that debate with me. Because I be arguing with him, and I bring up good points, and it's like, I can see the wheels turning in his head, but then at some point, like, something snaps, and it's like, no, but I've been taught this, so that's the truth,
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, okay, you read the Quran, but did you understand it? Like, you know how to recite, you know how to say these surahs for when you're praying, but do you know what it means? And so I'll cite something from the Quran, and like all of a sudden it's just that switch, and it's like, no, but like this is that, and I'm like, well, you're telling me to read the Quran to understand what Allah is saying, but then when I share that with you, you just don't believe it. It's like more cultural than religious, which is crazy to me, because they'll put so much on religion and sometimes leave culture behind, which I want to invert. Like so often I think about like, what are the Fulani names like that are not Arabic?
Pre-Islamic colonization.
Exactly. And I'm like thinking like,
what are our traditions?
Like, okay, the traditions. I'm like, I don't know, I can't help but think like what our culture would look like, or what my life would look like without Islam.
I don't know if you noticed, but over the last 20 years, a lot of our wedding traditions are slowly getting wiped out. Some people don't even believe in the traditional jumbugol in the house anymore. Some people think a nikah is just enough, which is not the traditional Fulani wedding. Yeah. There's so many traditions that you learn about that have just been phased out throughout the years, especially as a lot of extremist Islam ideology is taken over.
So many people are, I think it also like ties into the community. So many people are trying to get away from that community aspect, which is the culture.
Gotcha.
So because the community is toxic, they're leaving that behind and just like, oh, do the nikah, do something small. And then all of the culture is gone because they don't want to deal with the community, which is crazy. So that's...
That comes to show how
think that's, like,
dysfunctional our
reason.
culture is.
Exactly. And I think a lot of it does have to do with religion and...
The conflation of
Yes.
culture and religion.
Because-
It's a very blurred line.
Absolutely.
It causes a lot of confusion and I think hurt too. You know, that...
Because it was, like, imposed upon us. I think that a lot of... When you look at, like, Fulani traditions, not much of it has to do with Islam. And it's just, like, sad to see people, like, abandoning what they knew for something that was kind of imposed on them without, like, thinking about it. And now it's just been so long that it's been lost.
Yeah. And the thing with Africans too, we love talking about Western colonization, but when you take it to religion, they're like, how dare you?
Immediately.
It's crazy because, you know, in a lot of West African countries, there are more religious institutions than there are hospitals in the countries.
That's ridiculous.
There are more,
absolutely
like, I remember when I studied abroad in Ghana, one of the first things I learned is there are more churches in Ghana than there are hospitals. And I'm not surprised. I'm pretty sure Guinea is the same way. There are more mosques in Guinea than there are hospitals.
That's genuinely so sad. But now it's just like, pray on it. Allah will, da 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 da.
The religious psychosis of it, too.
Literally. And I'm like, okay, if you have your faith in Allah, you still have to execute. Like, it's not like you're just gonna... And again, there's that external locus of control. You have to take charge.
Nothing pisses me off more than people who are like, Allah will provide. And it's like, go get a job.
A job.
Get a job.
Fulani
Get a job. Move your family out of Tracy Towers. What are you doing, bro? Like,
Okay,
what are you...
literally.
Like, Allah will provide... Get off of your ass.
Like, he's provided you with things and you're still not using them. Like, you're just sitting there complacent. And it's like, it's an excuse.
No, it
if we're being
really
honest.
is.
It's
And
an excuse.
it makes me, as someone who, like, as someone who has struggled with their faith, it makes me not want to fuck with this shit. Because what does Allah have to do with the fact that you make bad decisions? And you sit there looking at everybody and pointing the finger at everybody but yourself, and you don't do shit about your life.
At all. And it's kind of like they'll only put the good things on Allah. Like, it can't be one or the other bit. It can't be like only good things come from Allah.
Girl.
Like, it has to be bad things too. So I don't know. It's just so frustrating.
I got so many of the points you were making in the video. Mm-hmm. And I think also in the comments, like, you made a comment about, you know, people came and was just like, what about the afterlife? And you were like, I don't believe in living for the afterlife. Yeah. I believe in living for the now.
Yeah. Because we don't know. And a lot of people, I think they're scared. Mm-hmm. And religion is comforting for them. And I think my cousin actually texted me about this today. Like, I think I've accepted what I cannot know and what I can know. And it's like, whoop-de-doo. Like, I don't know what the hell is going to happen now, but I do know this. Like, I do know that one day I'm going to die. That's really the only thing that is guaranteed in this life. So I'm going to do it up. Like, I'm going to live a life that I think is worth living. And I think I'm a good person, so I'm going to live my life as a good person. And I don't need this rigid set of rules to be a good person in this life. I feel like I take from all different things. Like, I learn every day, like, and strengthen my morals, or like switch up my values based on my life experience and other people's anecdotes from their life experience, and just like reading like philosophical texts. Like, I'm not the most philosophical oriented person.
And being intentional about your moral framework and what
Yes.
you're operating from, and you're not just building it off of what people told you to do and what, you know, you're like, I do this because, and that was another thing you mentioned in the video, is like, I don't operate from other people's moral framework. I operate from my own. I think I'm a good person. I try to do right by people. I try to do my best in this life. And I think that's really all that any higher power would ask from me.
Because a lot of people don't ask why.
Yeah, they don't.
I think that's my biggest thing. Like, I wrote my medical school personal statement on that, like, and I said that I'm a why person. My parents did not like that growing up. I always question everything. Like, you can't sit here and beat me for doing something and not explain to me why it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Like, why I can't do that. Like, you're going to have to explain it to me. That's the best way to, like, freaking get a child not to redo what they're going to do, because now they're thinking about it.
Yeah.
Now they're going to think before they act, rather than like just being conditioned to kind of flinch before this. So like
Exactly.
before they do it, they're going to flinch if you beat them. But if you explain it to them, they're going to think, and that will be a better way, something more long lasting, because a beating is temporary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, it's like, oh, I'll do this and just take the beating because that's going to be over. But when you explain it to them, that adds to their moral framework. And, like, if you do something that goes against it, it's going to have you thinking it's going to be a longer-term consequence, because it's going to be in your head. You're going to have that cognitive dissonance going on.
Do you think you were raised in Islam well?
No.
Do you think that impacts the way that you approach religion? Do you think if you were raised, you had a positive experience with Islam, maybe it would be different? Or you're just like, no, actually, I'm really about this moral framework shit?
I think based on just my temperament, I still would be very questioning. Like, when I was younger, I don't think I've ever been subscribed to the teachings of Islam. Like, growing up, we went to Quran class, and like, we'd get beat if we didn't memorize this. And it's like, this is a language I don't know. I don't know what we're saying. I can't pronounce some of these things, and I'm getting beat. I have to memorize this after like going to school all week and going to extracurriculars, and I have to go to a Quran class and just sitting there, just read it. Like, this is not, it's not comprehending to me. So it's like, again, like, if I don't understand something, it's not going to solidify in my head, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It just was not brought to me in a good way, because also, like, why are you beating me if I don't understand something?
Yeah.
Like, that's always been my thing. You're not going to hit me. I got CPS in second grade. Like, yeah, absolutely not.
You called CPS in second grade?
So, like, my mother, I had got a little Dominican blowout, and she, like, wrapped my head and with the pins. And she was like, okay, put these pins away. And then the next morning, the pins were all, like, scattered. Like, how to do saki, like, and I was like, I didn't do that. But she was like, Aminatou, why'd you do this? And she started hitting me. I was like, bro, first of all, that wasn't even me.
What's going on? I'm a kid.
And no, okay. I was like freaking 6 years old.
What's going on here?
6, 7. Dude, and like, I was crying. Like, you could have just told me to clean it up. Like, natural consequence, bro. So I'm crying on the school bus. I get to the class. Shout out Miss Barrows. She was like, why are you crying? I was like, my mom hit me.
And they call CPS?
Yeah, I had to go down to the office, and they were like taking pictures of my arms and my legs. I have like some scars, but these are like mosquito bite scars from when I was in Guinea. And I was like, yeah, my mom be hitting me. And I think they called both my brother and my sister down as well. And we're talking to them. And we usually just walked home from the school bus, but I'll get down the school bus. There's my mom standing right there. Oh, hey, what are you doing here?
Was she like, bitch, what the fuck did you do?
Yeah. But I don't really remember too much of that, like the aftermath from that. I remember some guy had to come to our house sometimes. And like, I guess they like realized that I wasn't like like, it was not a dire situation. There was food in the fridge. The house is, like, not disgusting. It's, like, it was a big house. It was,
Yeah.
like,
You were okay. Like,
we were better than okay.
Yeah.
But it was just, like, they had to do the investigation. The investigation was closed.
did your mom ever speak to you again about that? Like, girl, why did you do that? And they just kind of like didn't acknowledge it. They were just like, I guess this is what happened.
Just didn't acknowledge it. Like, I think my dad was like upset. I don't really remember.
Fair. I mean, it was second grade.
Yeah. And
but
she didn't hit me again until.
Well, we're gonna get into that because you've been dropping a tea. But I want to wrap up this religion conversation because you started watching The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, right?
Yes, I'm dying to talk about this.
I relate to the Mormons. Mm-hmm. Don't you see a little of similarities between our culture and theirs?
Especially with Jen and Zach. Oh my God. They piss me off. Zach pisses me off so freaking much. He's like, it feels like I'm living for Jen and like I can never be mom and this is that. No, you refuse to be mom. You want to adhere to these gender roles when it benefits you, but when it comes to being the provider, you're not that. So what are you? You're supposed to be a provider. You're supposed to be, well, yeah.
They love remixing these rules in their favor. They be remixing this shit.
Crazy.
Scratching.
And it's like you're benefiting from everything, basically, because you don't even have to work. And now you're complaining about watching the kids. Those are your kids. Those are your kids. Like, you're like, oh, I can never be mom. You just refuse to be a parent. Like, mom and dad should be equal. Obviously, in this society, it's not. Like, I would still be a father. Like, I be thinking about having kids, and I'm like, ugh, like, it's not fucking work.
It's so crazy because watching dad talk, you're seeing what it's like to marry your enemy and to marry your competition, someone who's actively competing with you.
Oh my God, like all of them,
they
all of the
hate
husbands,
women. They hate their wives.
Them. And then it's compounded because now their wives are the breadwinners. So they have like no purpose.
No, literally.
So now they hate them even more, even though they're benefiting from everything. Like they have nannies, but they don't take care of the kids.
Huge houses, all the, like, Jesse was talking about how Jordan spends most of his days golfing. He doesn't because she makes so much money.
Yeah, and she been had money before that too.
She had her hair salon, all that stuff. I mean, also all of these women suck too. Like, I don't care for any of these women whatsoever. I don't care for the Mormons of you, but I'm
just like so intrigued.
But for me, it is such a I relate. It's the closest thing on reality TV that I can relate to in terms of the psychosis that happens within the Guinean community. Yeah. Because the way that those women act are very similar to the way women in our community act.
And it's like, because they're so enclosed.
Because conservatism is all the same shit. It just is in different colors and fonts and sizes. Y'all are just naming it different things, but it's like, the same ugly truth.
They're like so enclosed in the community, so like it becomes like a freaking echo chamber. Like Utah, it's so mystical to me, but not in a good way. It's like...
Apparently you have great slopes for skiing, though.
Yeah, and there's like this... They have like resorts. Yeah. And like the desert and like the mountain. I so want to go.
Oh, I might go to Utah next year to go skiing. You should go.
I've never been skiing.
Oh, let's go skiing. It's so fun. Skiing. I love skiing.
Really?
Yeah. It's hard.
I'm like scared.
It's not intuitive. You have to do the lessons.
No, but I'm scared because you see a lot of, like, I've talked to a lot of emergency medicine doctors and like trauma surgeons. They're like, yeah, we see a lot of head injuries and traumas.
Oh, no, absolutely. It's a very unforgiving sport.
Absolutely.
And very unforgiving sport.
Paralyzed, just take me out. Just take me out.
I skied into a tree last month, yeah.
Babe.
My chest was burning. It was tough.
Even driving a car, I don't like doing that.
Me too. I hate driving. I know, like, we fought for that, right? But I don't like that shit. Yeah. I can't wait till the day I have a driver. I hate driving.
God, literally. Like, one of my little yayas, he insists on driving me, never touching a wheel. And I'm like... Thank you.
I noticed when I first found you on social media, you had nothing on besides the fact that your name was Aminatou. You had nothing on there that signaled that you were Fulani or Guinean at all.
You know, I used to. Like,
was that intentional?
Yeah. I think I wanted to minimalize it so much. This is also like strategy. Like, actually, I'm just now putting it into words, like, and like making this conscious. But like, it's kind of like I put as little information in my bio as possible because now you have to go to my page and see what I'm about to figure things about. Even though I hate people asking me too many questions, like, I get rage baited on live when people are like, "But are you Fulani? Are you Nigerian?" But like you have to.
You be saying shit like I'm Brazilian or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I be saying I'm half Dominican.
Yeah.
I speak that Spanish. Mi gente, si están aquí, dímelo algo. Ya tú sabes, estamos aquí.
What did you say?
So my people, if you're here, tell me something. You know, we're here. You already know. Like,
you're hilarious.
I'd be lying, but yeah, I think it's part of, and also just like. The box thing again, like even the model actor thing I have in my bio, I'm like gonna take that out because like I don't know, I feel like that's not encompassing of who I am. Like I can't like before I had so many other things in my bio. I had like model, actor, baker, part-time comedian, liar. I just had anything in there, so. I don't know. I feel like it's just too hard. And then now I have to put my email in the bio. So, like, there's not enough characters for everything I wanted to put. So I put international footballer, too.
I think I saw that. What does community look like for you then? Because you talk a lot about not wanting to be boxed in. And one thing about our community, they want you boxed in. They want you in that box. They want the box closed. They want it taped up. They want you living and enjoying that box, regardless of how small it is.
You know, I don't really interact with our community. Like, because I was raised outside of it. And now it's like everybody's mad stush and like mad clicky. So there's no click for me to join.
I'm sure now because you have clout, people are like probably reaching out though. Because they're really.
I feel like I don't have like a lot of New York. I feel like my audience is very like international. So I don't know. It's kind of like I'm not the most palatable person, you know? I tell people like I'm
not for everyone.
I'm really not.
And that's okay.
So
I think people who are for everyone are fucking weird.
At all. I don't make friends easily.
I don't either.
And yeah, I'm a disagreeable young lady, so it's like hard for me to make like actual friends, and it has to be like organic for me. Like if you're trying to force it, like I can sniff a clout chaser from miles away.
You're discerning girl, and
I know what the f y'all are doing. It's not happening around here, partner.
So we talk about the conflation of culture and religion on a macro level, but what does this influence look like in our households and how we function? And so I want to segue into family because you already made a few remarks about how I love my dad. I don't really fuck with my mom. And I want to know, what is your relationship with your parents like? Especially because over the last year, you've become very, very visible online. And I'm sure people come to them and like, I saw Aminatou, da 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 da.
I don't know. Maybe to my mom, but I don't talk to her, so I don't know. But to my dad, I feel like he would say something. Actually, he wouldn't say something. Because when I was in college, before I like started actually doing something, I made a video and I was like, yeah, I just got home for break and my dad bought all these couches. Like African parents just be doing anything. And he commented, he was like, this is my house. I could do whatever I want. I was like, calm down. The video before that was me in a Playboy bunny costume talking about who's going to be the drunkest. I said, wow, he never mentioned it to me. And I think he really just minds his business. Like, I feel like they know.
Not to go looking for shit?
Yeah.
Because you're going to find out.
They're going to find something. So, but now I have him blocked in his second. No. And then he had a second account because he forgot the password to the first one. And he was like, yeah, I be seeing you on this. And I was like, you be seeing me? Block that account too. But I don't know if people say, actually, no, yeah. Somebody was like, that I was telling people my mom was dead on the internet. I heard that from my aunt was asking my cousins if I was doing that. And I was like, what? Somebody in our family goes around saying that their parents are dead, but it's not me.
What?
It's not me.
How do you draw boundaries with like aunts and uncles? Or do they just kind of follow the same how your parents move? Or they talk, or you're just like, they don't even have the opportunity to speak to me.
Yeah, they don't. And if they do, it's going to be shut down very quickly. Mm-hmm. So like when people, me and my mother have a tumultuous relationship. We don't talk.
You live with your parents, right? Okay.
They just recently moved in to the crib. So now we're living together again. My dad has finally dropped it where he's like, Aminatou, Dadu, how you got it? And I'm like, you have to say hello to your mom. I'm like, I'm not talking to her. She told me that I was dead to her and that I should consider her dead to me as well. So, okay, I'm going to follow suit. Quran says, listen to your parents. And he's like, no, like, Dadu, I'm not into that, blah, blah, blah. I didn't, like, I'm not saying I'm the perfect daughter, but, like, if we're trying to, that's a whole entire story.
Yeah.
But, yeah, when that was first going down, people would try and come to my house and, like, try and talk to me. And, like, they'd come knock on my door. I unlock it. Like, some of them would try and come in without knocking. I'm like, yeah, you're bugging.
They love overstepping boundaries.
Like, my parents don't even do that. My parents knock. So I don't know what the hell you're doing in my father's house. But I'll open the door. They'll be like, Aminatou, like, let me in. Like, can I come in? I'm like, no, what do you want? Like, I'm very short with these people. Like, I'll do the, hi, no, but you're not going to come into my room and try and lecture me about something you don't know about. Like, I'll get into it with anybody, and my dad knows that. Both my parents know that. Everyone in my immediate family knows that. I'll get into it with anybody. If I don't agree, I'm gonna say that. And
they hate that, especially in a woman.
They hate it. And it's kind of like, I just keep it very short with people now because now they don't even try me. Like, actually, my aunt was staying with me the other day, and she started talking about my body. And I was like, don't talk about my body. And she was like, I already said something. So and I looked at my dad and I was like, you know how I get. Like,
he probably was like, girl, you don't.
Dude, I'm like, I was very close to texting her daughter, who's my cousin that like I fuck with. I was like,
get your mom.
I'm going to say something to your mom and she won't like it. But I did warn her. Yeah. And that's how I move. Like, even my dad's older brother, who's like the Bob and Mauro, like, I've yelled at him before.
Your Bob and Mauro is here?
No, he was staying with us like a few years ago. When I was like arguing with my dad about moving off campus. Like, me and my dad got into a screaming match in the foyer. This dude's gonna come outside. Mind you, we're screaming in English. He don't speak no English. He's like, I was like, you don't even speak. I'm like yelling at him too.
Where did you come from?
Okay, literally. You don't govern anything in my life. I don't know who the hell you is. And it's like, I also don't care about like how old you are.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
Like, I'll respect everyone. I give everyone a baseline of respect. Yeah. How you move determines whether that goes up and down. Yeah. And like, I feel like people don't respect kids. I love kids so much, and I respect them. Yeah, and like, so people will see how like I be around kids, and they're like, oh. But then if you talk to me, you're like, they think I'm nice and like malleable and like conforming. Yeah. But you gonna say something to me, I'm gonna turn around. Even if I have your baby in my hand, I'm gonna turn around and be like, are you fucking stupid? Yeah, still
you know, your baby. It's crazy. Like listening to you speak, like I empathize with a lot of what you just said, because I think in our culture there is this allegiance to just respecting elders, and it's elders over everything. It's like like ageism is really, it's real in our culture. When you're young, you're a girl. you're
Like,
oppressed.
At all.
You're
like,
oppressed.
You don't get anything. And I've like spoken to my dad about this. I'm like I'm
Like
you don't respect me.
Yeah. You demanding respect is seen as disrespect.
Yes.
Whereas as a parent, you should respect your kid.
Yeah.
Not in the sense of you should be letting your kid walk all over
Yeah.
you or whatever. There's a fine line that you should be like treading with your kid. At the end of the day, I do think to a certain extent, like your kid needs to fear you to a certain extent, just to when they're young.
Like, because this is like an authority figure.
Yeah,
like,
you need to. Yeah, they need to know
like,
somebody's in charge.
Like, not fear, but I think respect is the word, but like hesitance and like thinking about consequences.
Yes. They have to think of someone outside of themselves. Yes. I think that's an important value to instill in your kids. But the moment it treads into, what you have to say, I don't give a fuck about that. I don't value what you think. It's about me, how I feel, what I think, and what I say is final, regardless of what you believe. Then that kid doesn't feel any agency. And actually, that's how you shut down. And then ultimately, that is what creates a drift with people and their parents. Because you're like, well, I'm not even going to try because I already know how they view me. They don't really value what I have to say. They don't respect me.
And I think that's so dangerous between a parent and child, especially in New York City. Because, like, I didn't trust my parents to, like, tell them what I was getting up to. So, like, I'd go to parties. My dad's calling me. Turn my phone off. Anything could happen. Anything could happen. And, like, thank God it didn't. But, like, if we had that, like, relationship where you respect me and it's reciprocated, I would, like, tell you what's going on and it'd be more transparent. But it's really not. And I think, I don't know, I argue with my dad all the time. I'm like, yeah, you don't respect me. Like, we'll just have different, like, scenarios arise. Yeah. And, like, yeah, you don't respect me. Like, because I'm a woman, like, he knows that I am accomplished, I'm smart, and all this. But he'll overlook that because I'm a woman and still, like, just have his misogyny take over. Mm-hmm. And, like, I point that out to him. Yeah. And I'm like, well, you would give this respect to a stranger, so why not your child? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you wouldn't slap a stranger for not listening to you. Yeah. Why would you slap your child? You would not, like, this is not how you would act to an adult. Yeah. That you don't know. So why are they put at a higher position than your own child who you claim to love?
No, I agree. And in our culture too, like, blood is thicker than water, always. Not wrong. Seriously. But they condition you to accept abuse from a family member because it's your family member. Mm-hmm. And they don't realize they're actually setting you up for failure. Absolutely. Because if you are conditioning your child to accept abuse from a family member because that's their, that's their sister, that's their brother, that's their dad, their mom, you're letting that kid know other people can do it to you in a way. And that's why cycles continue, especially like generational trauma or kids who grew up in domestic violence situations, like ending up in domestic violence relationships. And what I appreciate about you being honest about your relationship with your mom is because it shows that you are setting a boundary for yourself. But, in my conversations with you, you do also express an empathy for your mother, right? And her kind of experiences in a way. I want to know how you balance empathy versus boundaries with your parents. Because we find a lot of, especially first gen kids, come online and say this all the time. They always preface with, I understand what they've come through and all the trauma that they've experienced and da-da-da-da-da. And for some people, it results in them being like, okay, like, and because I know all these things, like, this is why I still give my mom grace. This is why I still give my dad this, or this is why I'm still active in my parents' life. But then there are some people who exist on the other end of that spectrum who are like, actually, fuck that. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't think because you went through all of these, I have to suffer the consequences of it and I have to be treated in this way. Where do you exist on that spectrum?
I'm probably like closer to the latter. So I think that I took that empathy into account very often because the situation that happened between me and my mom, she put her hands on me, and like I don't believe that that is a way to resolve conflict. And
Like recently, like in your adult age?
yes,
Okay.
and it's kind of like, okay, I've forgiven you once for this exact thing, forgiven you twice for this exact thing. You're just gonna keep doing it if I keep forgiving you. Mind you, these forgiveness, like me forgiving, came with no apology. And I'm like doing it because my dad asked me to. And it's kind of like, well, no, this, I don't like what you're doing and I don't have to stand for it. We don't have to have a relationship because genuinely, what is this providing me? Nothing.
Yeah.
And like, I do understand like the life she's been through and all of this, but you're a grown woman now. Like, it gets to a point where you know what you're doing is wrong.
Yeah.
You know that. Because she's not, like, dumb. She had an education. Like, she at least finished high school, I'm pretty sure. And, like, she was raised in France for a good chunk of her childhood. So it's not as if she doesn't know anything but village life. And like, I just can't stand for it. Like, people are like, oh, it's her first time being a mother. Okay, it's my first time being. Like, what the hell? And it's like, it's not her first time being a mother because she had 2 children before me. She, like, does not treat any of them like she treats me. And at some point, I just don't care anymore. I had to reconcile myself with the fact.
And you also have to protect yourself.
Yeah,
You know,
that-
your emotional well-being.
Yeah, that, like, okay, I just don't have a relationship with my mother.
Yeah.
And because every time, like, I go back, it's like, and like something happens again, like, it's just like heartbreaking again.
Yeah,
And
it's
I just can't keep going through that.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of it now is pity rather than,
It's not anger.
yeah, it's just,
Like, you don't speak about your mom from a place of anger. It's just kind of like, it is what it is.
yeah, I've been angry and it just doesn't really do anything for me. Like, I can understand why you are the way that you are, but I don't know why you're continuing to be that way.
Do you think because you set these boundaries, you maybe like forgiven your mom for yourself in order to just kind of move on?
No, I don't think I need to forgive to move on.
Oh, okay.
I'm like,
No, explain on that.
people
Yeah,
say
tell
that.
me more.
And I don't think I need to forgive because also there has been no apology. And I think for my definition of forgiveness, you have
No
to come
accountability.
and- yeah, I don't know that you feel remorse, and I don't need that to move on
Got you.
because, like, not to be like, oh, I'm always right, but like, I know I was not fully culpable in this situation. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is.
I don't I never understood people who were like, oh, you need to forgive and forget. I'm not going to forgive or forget because if I forget,
It's silly.
I'm
Doing the
gonna
same
let,
thing and
I'm going to let this happen again.
Yeah.
And if I forgive, then that person is going to think that to some extent, depending on the person,
that they're right.
yeah, that what they did was fine.
And it's not.
And it's not. And people need to see the consequences of their actions because
Absolutely.
you did this how many times and you're going to keep doing like, no, not around here. And I do a hard stop. And me and my father argued for years. The only times we argue with each other is about my relationship or lack thereof with my mother. It's like, oh, you have to talk to her. Like, oh, you have to forgive her. You have to forgive her for what?
Yeah.
Forgive her, like, she didn't even...
Do you worry, because you're very open about this on the internet, and the internet is a very unforgiving place, it's a stage. Do you ever worry about any instance in the future in which you might regret openly talking about your relationship with your mom, Like, does the possibility of future reconciliation ever cross your mind?
I don't think I'll regret talking about it because
It's your truth.
This is your truth. Yeah, and this is how I'm feeling. And I think like my entire goal on the internet, I really started like as a video diary. So I have to be completely honest, live in my feelings of the moment. And
That's why people are drawn to you too, I think.
yeah, it's like I like to post right away.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'll regret it because I'm just being true to myself. I think people regret it when I guess they're not fully reconciled with the situation. I'm done with the situation. I don't see myself reconciling with her. Mm-hmm. And I've accepted that. I think throughout my childhood, I was accepting of that.
Yeah.
And just little by little, I got closer to it. So this is not like a one and done kind of situation. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like my whole life.
Yeah.
She gets to put her narrative out there. I visited my cousin last year, and she told me a version of the story I never heard. She said that she's been telling people I just got up and started. Whoa! Why would I do that? First of all, I don't fight.
You know, for people who are obsessed with privacy and they love putting their business out there.
Dude, literally.
They love picking up the phone, calling the loudest mouths they know, and putting their business out there.
Right. And I
think
know
exactly what I'm talking about.
Because everybody's got one of those people. But it's this is not going to affect me because I'm not in the community.
Yeah, I don't, girl, I don't care.
I don't care.
I don't care.
Go and tell them I don't value the opinion of these people. I really don't.
And also, when my parents are people are talking about you.
Okay, good. I love
incredible. That's what I want.
Involve me in the conversation.
Watch my videos. Make me money. Please.
I love people talking about, I just love hearing about myself.
Oh, that's what they told you?
No, literally, I love it. I wish I could be a fly on the wall for what people have to say. If it's good or bad, I want to hear about it. I love seeing people's perception of me.
Yeah, I'm what did you? I always love asking people, what did you think when you first met me?
Yes, I love thinking that.
I literally ask my friends that all the time. So what did you think about me?
Yes.
Did you think I was this? And it's always so interesting to hear how I show up in different spaces. Yeah. Now let's pivot to your dad.
My friend.
You speak very highly of your dad, but I also know from our conversations, you also it's not necessarily complicated with your dad, but you recognize his flaws. He's an African man. He's an African dad, right? And I wanted to ask you, especially when we had dinner that one night, when I was walking away, this was the thing that was top of mind for me. Do you ever think about how maybe misogyny makes it easier for you to have a better relationship with the men in your family versus your mom?
Yeah, there's this.
Because your dad, just before you start, because I feel this is my perception, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel your dad kind of plays this chill dad, or this not chill, but I feel he gets to show up as the nice guy. No? Okay, well then.
There's this quote from a psychologist. Was it Freud? I don't know, but I forgot who it was, but it was kind of the father and daughter laugh at the mother without the daughter realizing that is also her fate in the future. And I think I try and keep that in my mind because I'm my dad's favorite, right? And my mom's favorite is probably one of the boys. And it does make sense in that manner, but I think where it diverges is how she treats her daughter. Mm-hmm. And it's just completely different between us. So with my father, I definitely acknowledge his faults. I'll go up to him and say what I'm thinking, immediately. And I think I speak highly of my father online because we laugh a lot together. And it's kind of like, and also like the negative aspects of him is kind of like not my business to be talking about. Like if I say,
That's a good point. Because remember I asked you a question at dinner and I was just like, well, you know, if your dad has shown up like this as a husband, don't you feel a type of way about your dad? And you were like, no, because he's been a great dad to me.
well, yeah, I do feel a type of way. And I like made a video and I was like, I would want to marry someone like my father, but not like my mother's husband. Right? Because he has not been a good husband, I will say. Like, that's just the truth. And I've said that to him. I was like, would you want me to marry somebody who treats your wife like you do? No answer. And
when I tell you they're stunned.
Stunned.
They're stunned.
And
I asked my dad the same thing. And he was like, he almost rejected the idea. He was like, it was like malfunctioning. I was like, answer the question.
Right. So like, I feel like I can talk about certain things from my perspective, but between them and like between like things in his life, it's not really my place to say. So I think that's why it kind of comes off as like, oh, I love my dad. He has no faults. Well, I'm a daddy's girl. Yeah, I'm a daddy's girl, but like I argue with that guy all the time.
Yeah.
Like, and the way that I speak to him, people are like baffled.
Do you think you extend your dad grace?
Yeah, for sure. I do tell him when he's wrong. Absolutely. Yeah. Like if he does
but it
something
feels
wrong,
like he makes space for you and who you are.
Yes, he does.
It sounds like he's not focused on controlling you. He's just kind of letting it happen.
Because I've been like this my whole life.
Yeah.
So it's, and also like, it's not just me, but he is open-minded in a way where he just wants the best for us. So like something he's always said is, I don't want anyone in this world to be better than me other than my kids. Yeah. And that's really his mindset. He's very education focused. Yeah. And something he said to me was that your first husband should be your degree. So like I think it's so stupid, like in his head, that he does not want me to turn out like my mother. And it's like, well,
that's deep.
Yeah. And he's like, no, you have to build something for yourself first and then get married. And I guess like that's why he came to this country. And it's just kind of crazy, like seeing him want things for me that he will not make an effort to do for his wife. And I'm like, does your head not hurt sometimes when you're doing, like, when you're saying these things to me, but knowing that you're not doing that same thing? Like, I don't like my mother, but like, if I think he's doing something like fucked up, I'm gonna say it. Like, I was like, did you get your wife Valentine's flowers? And he was like, why I gotta do that? Why I gotta, nigga. Like, you're a dickhead. Like, come on. Like, don't be a dickhead.
Yeah, don't be a dickhead.
And like some things that he's done, I'm like, is that in the Quran? Like, literally. Yeah. It's just, like, I don't want to get into their business, but.
How my dad is as a husband is actually none of my business. It has nothing to do with me as his daughter.
Well, at this point, like, all I can do is tell him what he's doing wrong and that he should not be doing it.
Yeah, because you're an adult now.
But at the end of the day, it's not my relationship, and I can't be the one to, like, stick up for the relationship. Like, it has to be somebody who's in the relationship. And I've tried to get that point across to my mother. I've told him to leave her. I've told her to leave him, like,
multiple times.
Like, girl, like, I love my dad, but like, if I was in your shoes, I would have been left. Yeah. But like, they were raised differently, and it's like they don't have that mindset, and it's just like,
do you think
hard
as her daughter watching her accept that, has that, I guess, also contributed to how you view your mom, I guess, of like maybe being weak, or I don't want to put words in your mouth, but have you, like, you seeing your mother accept or I don't know if she accepts or not, but seeing her accept how her husband treats her, has that influenced how you view your mom?
I think it has influenced how I view myself, and that I will never be like that. And like I know what I don't want. And as I'm like dating, I am learning what I do want. Because again, I said that like I pity her, and it's like you're accepting these things. So like if I come to you and I have like an issue with my husband, you're gonna tell me to muño. Oh, that's a trigger word for muño, muño, muño. Muño these nuts. Oh my God. Like muño taco. Like si me fala ya de miaje. Oh.
For what reason?
Like bro, like muño, like
Muño
I'm
for
not gonna
what?
accept that. And that like ties into like being like having my life together initially to be able to leave, because a lot of people are not able to leave.
A lot of my questions that stem from that question was like, I have dad shows up as a nice guy due to misogyny and the ways in which that makes mom's life harder. So most of domestic labor, domestic abuse, being the bad guy, falls on women usually, being the one who makes all the rules. Do you feel that necessarily applies in your situation or no?
No, I feel like my dad was always like the scary one. Like
Really?
my mom,
The enforcer? He was the authority?
yeah, absolutely. My mom, she was definitely more lax. It wasn't like when I say that like she's put her hands on me, those were one-off things. Like the discipline fell to my father. Like when he came home from work and he like had the fucking chubby, like bro, like
You guys had chubby?
bro. One time he said, "Go and get your own. Go pick your own." I said, "Wow, that's crazy." But yeah, it really fell to my dad. Like he was definitely the strict one. And like if I wanted to like go to a party, I'd like ask my mom, and then she'd let my dad know. You know, so
Interesting.
I think it's like this relationship I have with my dad has been cultivated
Over the years.
So, and like I've always been like a daddy's girl, but like now that I'm able to speak more freely, and I think as he gets older, he's like more open-minded. As I've been able to speak more freely and like argue with him and like get combative, like we've just had a better relationship.
It's interesting because when you're young and you're a kid, at least for me, my parents were my Beyonce. Like you're just like you're really upset. Like I think kids are, you know, because these are your parents, these are your caretakers, and they're supposed to be your safe space. And so, but then what I found is in my 20s, there's this term I think I read about. I think it's called individualization, where essentially you stop seeing your parents as your parents and you start seeing them as the individuals that they are. And for a lot of people, that's really heartbreaking, right? And I think it's because it's like the first time that they're really like, oh, yeah, you're just a girl, but so am I, and I don't really think the way that you do, or I don't really move the
like
way
I
that
wouldn't
you
be
do.
your friend.
Yeah. And you're just like you think about, oh, would I actually be friends with my parents? And for some people, it's yeah, but for some people, it's a no. And I find that there's a lot of content, especially on TikTok, about strained relationships between African mothers and their daughters. But I find even though there's like a community there, it's still a very isolating experience as someone to go through the world who doesn't have a strong relationship with their mother, because we're fed so much of like, you should love your mom, mother, daughter.
Yeah,
like,
my dad be sending me those AI things. Be like, love your mother. All right, and I'd be like, please. Like he's always like, if I could do anything to have my mom still be here, if my mother was still alive, I'd do anything. Like, and that's very true for him. Like, one time he stood the entire way from like New York to Dakar so that she could lie down on the plane. Like, he's very much that way.
I mean, they have an allegiance to elders. Yeah.
Allegiance. And
they're king. No, seriously.
No, like,
elders. I mean, have you seen how elders? I will say, if I was to grow old somewhere, I would want to be in West Africa. They are king,
literally,
out there. In a way that old people here are disrespected left and right.
No,
like,
crazy. I would say, like, it's very bizarre to see how. I mean, I don't know. They're stronger than me. I think for me, like, I had always had that sense of like realism, so it wasn't like shocking to me.
Got you.
When like find out who like my parents are, like I was like, yeah, that tracks. Like, I'm not surprised. Like, you've been showing me who you are this whole time.
Yeah. I mean, it's now when I look back at it, I'm like, oh, I guess there were always signs, you know, and but also I didn't spend a lot of, I went away to boarding school really early.
Yes.
So to me, I was away. So I also was kind of functioning, especially my teenage years, which I think are your most formative years. I was away from my family. It was always kind of novel to be around them and to be with my parents. And I didn't realize how, like, kind of the last time I was really able to live with my parents, despite COVID, and that was obviously by chance, was when I was like 12.
Yeah.
12, 13. That was really when parenting ended. And I don't think they realized that. I didn't realize that for sure. But it definitely, at least for me, has impacted the way that I view our relationship.
And that is going to be it for part 1. This conversation was too good to fit into just one episode. Aminatou came up in here and gave us everything, and we are not even close to done yet. Part 2 is where things get even more personal. We're getting even deeper about family. That conversation is coming very, very, very soon. And unfortunately, I can't share a date yet. I know. But I'm gonna need you to come back here for it. In the meantime, if any of this hit home, be sure to send this to somebody, not somebody who already agrees with you, but you can also send this to them too. Send it to somebody who needs a brave space to hear this. Follow Aminatou at Amina3. Follow On Our Terms at On Our Terms Pod, as well as subscribe, follow, and like. Only like, guys. As always, this is not a safe space. It's a brave space. Stay brave, and I'll see you in part 2.